Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Oceanica Manta Ray. The price for this appears to be $349, but it looks like they are sold out. I'll leave a link to the Oceanica website in the description below. Before we get into the watch, let's take a quick look at the packaging. Comes in this nice little wood box here. I think that's a nice touch. It's not too big either, so shouldn't be too expensive to ship it around. Just has some rabbets here for the lid to slide in and out, and it has a nice little burlap cushion. So nice, simple, effective packaging here, and it's nicely engraved. So let's get this off to the side and we'll take a closer look at the watch. Let me zoom in here. We can look at the dial. These are applied indices. Oceanica and the other text on here is printed on. You can see it's a 200-meter dive watch. It does have a date window at the 3 o'clock. It is boxed in. Looks like with printing. So it's a nice enough looking watch. Looks similar to a Seiko 62 Mas. It's a 120 click bezel. Not much backplay. It's a pretty solid feeling bezel. Just a little more, well, I would say I'm somewhat more used to 60 click bezels, but 120, 60, either are fine. So it does have a flat sapphire crystal with some AR coating. And the hands and indices have BGW9 lume. And also there is BGW9 lume applied to the ceramic bezel insert. I have not witnessed the lume yet, but we'll check that out together towards the end of the video. Actually, at the end of the video. One complaint I have is I would like to see a triangle at that 12 o'clock lume pip. At least for me, at a quick glance, it's not really all that easy to differentiate between these little diamond shapes and that lume pip. So a triangle on there would be a nice touch. Put this back to the 12 o'clock position. Looks to line up pretty well. With the 120 click, you have more opportunity for it to line up versus a 60 click, because you can put it in the half click and get it lined up. But anyway, this does have a assigned crown. The crown is polished. You can see a manta ray on the crown. Sides of the case are polished. Top of the case is brushed. I like the straight cutout here. Matches up well with any kind of strap you put on here. This is a this is a rubber strap, but a leather strap would work well too. This is the one that comes with the watch. It is a quick release strap. And it has this deployant clasp here, which I'm not a fan of, but we'll talk about that in a moment here. Actually, I think we can talk about that right now. I'm looking over my notes. So actually, let's look at the case back again. It does have a real deep engraving here, which does add to the thickness of the watch. There's some text around here. Sapphire crystal, Japanese movement, and it does have the Miyota 9015 movement, which is 8 beats per second, hacking and hand winding. Automatic, and stainless steel over there. So this clasp is modeled after, at least I've seen it on Omega watches. I have this clasp on a Hamilton World Time. It's okay, it's just quite thick. So probably should have measured that. Let's see if we can get close enough with this. Yeah, it's a good centimeter thick, or 10 millimeters thick there, which is almost as thick as the case itself. This is a 12.7 millimeter thick watch. So anyway, one issue I've had with this clasp is trying to put it on. I have to move this other excess strap in order to put it on wrist. I have a 6.5 inch wrist, and this is supposed to go up to a 9 inch wrist, so perhaps why there's extra material in here is because of that extra sizing. And also it has some sharp edges on it, right on the edge here. And then when you do have this closed, it doesn't conform to the wrist all that well because it has this little point on this piece here. I'm not sure why that's on there. So this is a mixture of milled and stamped sheet metal. This part here is stamped sheet metal, and then these portions here are milled stainless steel. So let me get this on wrist and I'll show it to you here. So yeah, see, maybe you can't see that. If I just put it on real quick, this extra strap gets stuck in there, so I kind of have to push it down and then close it, and then you have this piece is also kind of sticking out over here, and it does move over time as you're wearing it. So I don't know, I'm not familiar with this type of system. I would just rather have a normal buckle and tang type system, but you can get a sense of the thickness here too. It is signed in brushed metal. So anyway, let's go back to the watch here. I have a 6.5-inch wrist. You know what? I didn't go over the dimensions. Let's go over the dimensions and we'll put it back on wrist. So we're looking at 48.2 lug to lug. Case diameter is 40 millimeter. I gotta fix my notes. I wrote down 42. It's 40. And then thickness, as I mentioned, is 12.7. Lug width here is 20, and this rubber strap tapers down to, is 22, and it tapers down to 20. So lug width is 22, and it does taper down to 20 millimeters. And the crown is 6 millimeter. I prefer it a little bit larger, like the Seiko SKX. This has a 7 millimeter crown, but it looks proportional, and it doesn't have any issues. I don't have any issues with setting the time or unscrewing the crown. You know, it would be easier if it was 7. Just a tad bit small. So in a Miyota 9015, first click out is hand winding. Second click will be date set, and then the final position is hacking in time set. So you can set the time. All right, let's get this back on wrist, and then we can check out the loom. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. I greatly appreciate it. Like the video, and leave a comment below. Yeah, I don't like this deployment here. So anyway, here we go. 6.5-inch wrist. Let me zoom out here. Let me know what you think of this watch. I do have a Seiko, I guess I would say a Seiko version of the 62 Mas. It's kind of like a homage of the 62 Mas, but it's made by Seiko. So I don't know if it's considered a homage then or not. But anyway, I'll compare these two watches in a future video. All right, there we go. Let me pause the video and we'll take a look at the loom. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Like the video and leave a comment below. All right, so obviously on the left we have the Oceanica Manta Ray, and on the right my Seiko SKX 009. The loom on the Manta Ray is not nearly as good as what it looks like on camera. It is dimming down quite a bit though. But anyway, I have the SKX on the right for reference, so you can get an idea of what the loom would be like. I guess it's okay loom, but it's not as good as the SKX. So there we have it. That will conclude today's video. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.